Howdy there, partner. Welcome to GoblintowneTV, the only television network made by goblins for goblins. So if you're not a goblin, get the hell out of Dodge. I'm not gonna do this voice anymore. And I'm also not gonna make this anymore because it's so tight on me now. I'm your host, Clover, and just like my last solo video, I'm gonna be doing a speed paint. I feel like that's a weird thing to call it. I'm just gonna be drawing on Procreate. Something else Halloween related, not Western related. That's just the only Halloween costume I've had for the past 3-4 years. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Alright, now just getting right into it. I had no idea what I was gonna do whenever I started this, but I just did a shape and it felt like a mushroom shape, and that's kind of what I felt like going with. As you can see, as you can tell, I decided to use the symmetry guide on Procreate to get like just a very consistent design. I didn't want to focus too much on like dimensions and such. But the original idea here was to actually write a horror story to go along with this, but I tried to and I just couldn't figure out anything that actually worked with what I had. I had some stuff like kind of written up, but nothing that genuinely like flowed for what I was wanting. So I guess I'll probably just save that for another time. Also, horror isn't my area of expertise. Never been a huge horror fan, but I think it's fun sometimes. I cannot tell what I'm writing there.
Because it was moving around, you're talking about there was a bug on your screen.
Oh, I see. But the sort of idea that I had from this guy was like he was a weird like mushroom warlock or mushroom like god, and I was probably gonna go with like some story about cultists or something, but it just didn't really strike me, so I kind of just scrapped all that. Let's move on from what I'm actually drawing, because I can only talk so much about that at this moment. So Lettuce had the idea that instead of writing my own story, I could like read a story from Weird Tales, but all of them tend to be like hour long or so, and I figure you guys probably didn't want to watch somebody draw for that long or talk for that long. So I just figured I'd do a regular commentary over it, and maybe we'll do something more interesting another time. But I do genuinely love a lot of Weird Tales stories. One of my all-time favorite writers is Robert E. Howard, the creator of Conan the Barbarian, and I could literally just talk about Conan forever, just endlessly. I think he's so cool, but I just like fantasy in general, so that's where it goes. So I was kind of trying to work with a story similar to that, but if anybody out there hasn't read anything of Robert E. Howard's Conan, I highly recommend. I'd say, not to be cliche, but Tower of the Elephant is the best. But they're all pretty good, honestly, so just picking up anywhere, it's worthwhile. They're not chronological, so it doesn't matter where. But one of my big inspirations for writing was or has been, Robert E. Howard. Not perhaps the best role model in life goals, I suppose, but nevertheless, an amazing writer with an amazing mind. But here we have like the little warlock man. I don't imagine he's actually little. I imagine him being like 7 feet tall. You know, kind of an imposing character. But he has like magic coming from his hands and like magic smoke. Magic smoke makes me think of Dorohedoro, which, you know, also has to do with mushrooms. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm trying to work on like his mushroom cap design and just like weird markings on his body to try and make him look less bland. But it's still in the early stages of like sketching and not at all the final design. Oh god, they're all laughing at you. I wonder if they're like tattoos or what. You think this man tattoos himself, or if these are like markings indicative of the black magic that he's engaged in? Who knows? Maybe his mother was a cow. A mushroom cow. His dad was a mushroom, his mom was a cow. I mean, you know, psychedelic mushrooms tend to grow from cow patties, so, you know, it might be fitting. Now it's kind of giving me like a definitely a horror, like Rorschach vibe in his cap. But his face is unnerving. I love drawing teeth that are like long and thin. Like it's just like those are the teeth that I imagine would be on someone who eats people. And I imagine this man definitely eats people. The idea actually is that like he used to be human, but whenever he like gave himself up to whatever dark magic he gets his power from, it warped him into this weird mushroom man. But if you guys can think of any names for this mushroom man, I'd love to hear them. Now we're getting into where lettuce is getting on to me most, because I started zooming in and I'm not supposed to because it messes up recording. But she edited it so that it isn't so jarring for you guys to watch. But here we at least get some close-ups of how I did the face and other details, so it's not so much at a distance, and gave him a bit of a gap tooth there for a second, like I did with the pumpkin in that previous video. Oh, I just smacked the mic. I'm sorry. But this is actually where I'm gonna have to criticize my art some. Like, I have a horrible time at drawing, and not that I needed to here because it works on this man, but I have a horrible time at drawing young looking faces because I add so much detail to the wrinkles and such. How do you hand? These hands were such a pain, but I feel like I kind of got them a little bit okay. But I do like the shading I did here. It's different than most other shading I do. I decided to do the thing where you like leave lighting on the opposite side of what you're shading so that you can still make out what it is. And here I'm trying to do like the markings again, and wow, look at. Oh, so we cut out like me drawing the legs and everything and redrawing the body. So this is the final like line art of him showing off his ribs and his huge abs. Man, he is so muscular. This man's terrifying. and it's weird. Like the idea for his legs were that they were like flayed or something, which is where the skirt is actually skin, but it's indicative of actual mushrooms that have like that little skirt from when they grow. And you know, I did shading, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some lighting, and I wanted it to be warm lighting, so I went with an orange. So now I'm doing like some low opacity shading because it kind of emphasizes the pitch black shading that I had already done. But I think by this point I decided not to do the markings that I'd worked in, but just because it got so confusing and muddled with all the shading and lighting and all the other things I had going on. It just wasn't really working. And now we're on to the background, which I really wanted to do because I was really liking the direction I was going with it, but I just couldn't really make it work. So as you'll see here in a second, I kind of decided to drop the idea for the background I had going. I cannot tell what I'm doing right now, but that's fine. I don't really know what the background was supposed to be, like just some weird eldritch what's it called, like artifacts or something glowing in the background, just something ominous and weird. Then like the black smoke, and then it comes out all of a sudden, the kind of aura concept I was going for, which is what I ended with, and that kind of was gonna be worked into the story where the main character could see auras, so he could like see the entity's aura, but never came to light. So this is what we got. Yay. Hope you guys liked it.
That was the video. What's your guys' favorite Western movie? If it doesn't have Clint Eastwood, it's not a good Western. Thank you guys for watching. I had fun drawing it. I love mushrooms. I love freaky monsters. So putting those two things together, my little cow cat. She does not want to be here. At the end of the day,
it's not very funny, is it? There
At
could
the
have
end
been
of the day, it's
orphans
not very
inside of
funny,
that
is it?
cowboy hat underneath the cat, and you just put it back there.
if you guys have any recommendations on weird West stories, please shoot them to me. I love Western themes. I love fantasy themes. Two of them together would be awesome. That has nothing to do with what was drawn though. If you liked this video, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button below and the like button below. Unless you've already hit both of those, in which case, thank you so much.
What is wrong with you?
Follow us on Instagram at Goblintowne. Just Goblintowne? Not Goblintowne TV.
No.
Alright, at Goblintowne, just like the YouTube channel's name, where we sometimes post. You don't actually know what your skeleton looks like. It could look different than what they've been telling you. So, don't believe them, okay?
I'm turning it off.
Wait, what were those, hold on, what were those Tumblr posts? You remember me telling you about this? Those Tumblr posts where it was like a list of things not to do or stuff like that. And they would just get like increasingly more weird. Like each like bullet point would get more weird. If you guys know what I'm talking about, please let me know. We will catch you next time on Goblintowne TV. Thanks for watching. Come back next time where we see who can drink cups of acid fastest. Let us know who you think will win down in the comments. The winner, the people who guess correctly get a prize. So